Alright, let's get some of these boys here. We're gonna line of sight them like the pro. I hate this game. Guys, this just looks... Oh, man, it's been a long time since I've seen this. Wow. I don't think... It's probably not even that different, but I mean... God damn, dudes. Look at this. And let's just go over this. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Okay. Man, he has an unbelievably large crutch, doesn't he? Oh, and he's even showing a bit of dwarf. I think. Oh, holy shit! The definition between the tricep separation here. Wow. And even the vein on the bicep. Very sharp nails. Hera, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. Then there is Night Elves. Night Elves have always seemed so weird to me. Like, they're just too long. I can't look at these fuckers. It's just wrong to play female characters as a boy. Oh, is there actually weapon skills? I guess weapon skills are back. You have to train your weapon. And warriors, they can learn all the weapons. Palace. What could Palace not use? They could not use... Could they use axes? I kinda like weapon skills too. It was annoying, of course, when you made a change to a weapon, but it just felt... Somehow it made your character feel more genuine, more authentic, that you had to train up the weapon skill. And to be fair, it didn't take that long. Like, it would take you an hour or something like that. And rogue, female, male, priest. Priest human, yeah. My first ever, like, raid-ready character was a dwarf priest. This guy looks like he's been having a little too much of the meat mixed with some meth. Okay. I have the orcs. Ugh. And then there's the Tauren, of course. Tauren female. They look very different from... There's something that looks very, very different from the female trolls about their face. I can't really tell what it is. Yeah, as we did in Classic, we have the human, dwarf, night elf, and gnomes to choose from. There's no pandas. There is no Draenei. There is no blood elf. We cannot choose the monk, of course. We cannot choose the death knight, and we cannot choose the demon hunter, of course. Be a warrior, be alpha, dude. I'm gonna say warrior is like the worst thing you can level in vanilla. Warriors, if you want to level a warrior in vanilla, that's just, you're just being sadistic then. Warriors were so fucking shitty when it came to leveling. They were so poor outside groups. I think, guys, what we're gonna do, we're gonna choose the most mainly of the alliance races. And that is gonna be the female dwarf. And we're gonna play as a hunter. Skin color. Whoa, what happened to the eyes there? Can we... We're gonna go with this natural. And then we're gonna go with... Oh, look at that face. Ah, that is a flirty face. I'm getting a little aroused here. Okay, that's over now. That stopped. That was like getting hit by the black hammer. Okay, it's back. It's back. It's gone. It's gone again. It's back. Nah. Oh, it's definitely back now. Definitely back now. Like, let's be honest, guys. Right now, she just looks like a middle-aged feminist. No, my bad. Can we turn the hair pink? Let's go with this. Let's go with this here. The Alliance consists of 4 races: the noble humans, the adventurous dwarves, the enigmatic night elves, and the ingenious gnomes. Bound by a loathing for all things demonic, they fight to restore order in this war-torn world. Dwarf. In ages past, the dwarves cared only for riches taken from the earth's depths. Then, record surfaced of a godlike race said to have given the dwarves life and an enchanted birthright. Driven to learn more, the dwarves devoted themselves to the pursuit of lost artifacts and ancient knowledge. Today, dwarven archaeologists are scattered throughout the globe. May take on stone form. Ooh, that's, as far as I remember, stone form cancels poisons and diseases too, maybe. Skills with guns increased. I love that there's weapon skills, man. And it's just, I know they were tedious, but they just made your character feel more real. Resistant to frost. Oh yeah, this resistances too. Hunters know the uncharted places of the world, gifted with a deep empathy for all life. They have an uncanny knack for befriending wild animals and taming them as pets. In addition, hunters can use their finely owned senses to become master trackers. Wherever hunters go, they fight back the ravages of sickness, exploitation, and industrialization. We're gonna accept now and go into it, but no, back then in this here, you had the warrior, paladin, hunter, rogue, and priest. The shaman was reserved to the horde. You couldn't play a shaman if you were playing alliance. And the same would go for paladin. You couldn't play that if you were playing horde. The thing that we cannot play, the reason it only shows 5 here, is that not all races, and that still holds true to some extent today, could play all classes. So a dwarf could not play a warlock, I think, and a mage. So for classes you have the warrior, pala, hunter, rogue, priest, warlock, mage. What are we missing here? Druid, of course, druid. And then if you were playing horde, you could go shaman. If you're alliance, you can play pala. All right, let's get in, boys. I think I made the right choice here. So in the WoW Classic demo, you start as level 15, which I think is a mistake. I think they should have let us start from level 1 because there's something epic about being thrown into the world. Like, you start out, you have nothing, and you feel like you're like packed into this giant dome of awesomeness that you're just going to go and about explore right now. But I think it's because, the reason I think is simply because they haven't finished the starting areas. And of course also because I think they would be afraid that when people tried it, they would complain about not having enough skills, etc. And so, but let's get in here. Enter world, boys. It's been 14 years. No, I mean 17, of course. Oh my god. Is that jiggle effect? Is that jiggle effects? LN Trader, you stop inviting me. Is that seriously jiggle? That was not in Classic. What's our inventory looking like? Yeah, we have projectiles. That's true. Do we have, yeah, small ammo pouch? Okay. Oh yeah, it gave attack speed too by itself. We have these pellets, and if you have a bow, you would be using arrows. There's one thing here that's, again, this is cool in one way because it gives character identity, but I think I also think I remember this actually being rather tedious, having to use. And when they changed that, I think I was actually playing a hunter at that point in time, and I just thought to myself that was nice. I can't really tell if I think it's a good or bad idea with the ammo pouch. But we have a cape. Ooh, 9 armor, guys. 9 armor. I even have a green sleek feathered tunic. A rock trapper shirt. Sturdy leather bracers. Dwarven Hatchet of Agility. But you also had your armor type, so you could, as a hunter, before you reached level 40, you could only use, you could equip cloth, you could equip leather, but until you reached level 40, you could not equip mail. After level 40, you could start equipping mail, right? Yeah, that was also the MP5, not bad, yeah. Is that... Oh yeah, you of course had mana back then on the hunters. I couldn't even remember that. Alright, let's get the quest, boys. Let's move on.
What can I do for you?
A foul corruption has crept into Westfall. While I was upholding my duty on the battlefields of Lordaeron, these honest farms were overrun and made into outs for thugs and murderers. The People's Militia needs your help. Current quest, that is report to Grindstout mainland. Ah, so my friend sent you here, how kind. Well, the Stormwind Monarchy has abandoned our course. Now it's up to the People's Militia to keep the lands free from corruption. If our cause interests you, I can put your combat skills to use in the name of freedom. I just spit on my monitor there. In the name of freedom. The People's Militia has but one goal, to defend the lands of Westfall and return peace to our surroundings. Unfortunately, the price of peace is often blood. One of my scouts has brought word of a band of Defiance Trappers wreaking havoc nearby. I have reports of Defiance Trapper sightings near the Jangalode Mine to the northwest, as well as the Molson Farm and Furlbros Pumpkin Farm. If you seek to join our ranks, slay 15 Defiance Trappers and 15 Defiance Smugglers. We'll do that. We'll just go on a mass murder thing here. Alright, let's head out. Volkdar, we need to... Oh, that was not... Look at this map here. Look at this map here, guys. Do you see what's missing now? I think it's time to go to Thoughtbot. And try and see Arcane Shot. Oof. Destroyed. Let's kill this bird here. Let's kill this bird. I hate these guys. Fuck this thing. I should totally have opened with the scatter shot. Yeah, I can't hit them now. It's too close. Oh, amazing. Raptor strike. Oh, there's a wolf here. Be careful. Be careful. It may kill us. Oh shit. Oh, my pet is set to passive, isn't it? That's why it's not doing anything. You have no mana. You need to regen, dude. You need to regen. We have the aspects, true. But we're gonna go aspect of the hawk because that's the one that would proc our attack speed. Hunter's mark. Obviously, we want to cast that all the time, but it just would be best to put it like with, I don't know, a pet attack or something like that. There's another one over here. Oh, my pet is going ham on this guy here. Well done. Well done. And we have mint pet, of course, so we need to keep it alive and such. But it doesn't look like that ability is down on our casting bar. So pet, we would want to have... Oh, and we can tame a new one, dudes. We can tame a new one too. Feed pet, yeah. And you would need to have food in your inventory to feed them, right? Or could you just do it with that? I can't actually remember. So right now, my pet is super heavy right now, so there's no point in feeding it. Don't worry, Walt. I'll save you. And then Raptor Strike. And we have a decent amount of experience. Here's the Defiance boys we need, so let's just go. Yeah, let's destroy them. I should save Concussive Shot for, of course, when I lose the aggro. Nice. Need to keep an eye on your mana here. So you're playing a human priest, yeah. How was you did back then? Human priest, that would be you were playing Shadow. You would use Mind Blast, Shadow Word, Pain. Oh shit! Oh shit! Pet. Then you would do Mind Flay, and Wand Attack or something like that. It's one of those dangerous things to say. Just look at Jay Wilson. But I think there is as much, as arrogant as it was for him to say and wrong for him to say at that time, I think there is a bit of truth in the fact that people do not necessarily want the pure classic experience if they've gotten used to playing World of Warcraft now. There's too many things that are not at the standards of quality of life for what you would expect for a game in 2018. The problem is that you have to be so very careful doing so, right? Because too much quality of life actually just it removes the, sometimes it was the jankiness and the extra effort that it took in World of Warcraft that made you sign up with people, that made you go that extra step, that it extended the duration of some of the stuff you had to do. Like an example, of course, of that would be like the group finder. That made you interact with people, it made you talk to people, etc. AoE loot. That's one of the things that I think should be in the game. Like AoE loot is just a flat-out improvement of the game, in my opinion. It doesn't make the game better in any way to not have it, in my personal opinion. Man, I'd completely forgotten they actually had level ranks to the pets. Oh, that just makes it even more interesting. I'd completely forgotten that. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, thank you, Volkdar. Yes, conjured water. Sweet dude. That's why you love the mage too. Because you were using so much back then. But correct me if I'm wrong. So, if you guys were hunters, when you then tamed a new pet, you would have to level up its abilities, right? We don't need the harvest watchers, do we? Oh shit. A shadow wand. Volkdar, as a mage, what do you feel about that? A shadow wand. I think I'm gonna need on that. It's pretty good for hunters. And then you found like 58. Oof. Oh, 1 agility, agility, 1 stamina. It looks like a great, you know, belt for me. Nice, guys. I got a new belt. So good. It's cloth. Yes. All right, let's get some of these boys here. We're gonna line of sight them like the pro. I hate this game. This game is shit. This is a shitty game. Like, this is never gonna work. Like, this is the true vanilla experience, guys. Running around dead, right? Uh-oh, dude, I can see two chests here. We want those. I can see a battered chest and a box of assorted parts. Let's try and get it. I think they're inside. Add-ons isn't. Uh-oh, fuck! No! Fuck! Oh my god, dude, there's more of them! No! No! Fucking third time. I knew there was something wrong, and it was that I didn't have my pet. Oh, fuck. Run! Don't kill me. I don't want to die. Don't kill me now. I don't want to die a 4th time. Don't do it. He's not gonna get me. Yes. Yes. Thank you, my mage. Oh, that's true. There's this vendor in here, of course.
Hey there.
Oh, agility boots, guys. 5+ agility. Oh, Long Johnson. And a rage potion recipe. I'm gonna buy these boots here. But it's like, it takes half of what I have. Oh, fuck, dudes. This is insane. What an upgrade. 5 agility, dudes. What is our ranged attack? 85 right now. Power, 6.9 damage per second. 3142. Oh shit, dudes. For anyone who started playing Battle for Azeroth, I would imagine then when they look at vanilla World of Warcraft like this now, they're just like, what's the deal with it? What's interesting about this? It just looks like a slower, watered down version. And the thing is, when you oh, there's another chest here now too, dude. When you look at the from the outside, then it may look like it's watered down, but the thing is, vanilla World of Warcraft, imagine all the systems you have in Battle for Azeroth now, like the leveling system, you have the talent system, you have the gear reward system, you have the stats, etc. In vanilla, almost all of those things had more depth to them. It's not something you can see on the surface. It's not something you like really understand before you see it in game and start to understand how much more complex some of these systems were. And because they were more complex, it gave that more RPG feel to the game, where it made the player feel like they were more in control of the character and how the character developed. You were more in control of what it was you wanted to improve on your character, what you wanted to farm, dedicate your time to, etc. It was less RNG based, in my opinion, in the way that it gives loot left and right now. I think anyone who have never played the game before, if they saw two monitors, one with Battle for Azeroth, one with Classic, and they saw the gameplay, I think like 90%, if not more, would say that the Battle for Azeroth gameplay over there, that looked to be more fun. And that's not to say like Battle for Azeroth has things that are better than in vanilla, in my opinion, but it's the depth, the things you can't see, the things under the surface, the things that really made the experience unique to each different class, each different faction, each different race even to some extent, that just made it amazing. Look at this talent tree here, dude. This talent tree here. One of the major differences between today and back then was that you would have 3 talent trees, kind of similar to the specs you have today, right? But the difference is, back then you would get, after level 10, you would get 1 single point for each level, and you could spend those points in whatever you wanted to do here. Now, at some point, the argument from Blizzard was that you guys are just all using the same cookie cutter talent setup. So why don't we make the talents, why don't we remove a lot of those talents that just, +1 crit or whatever, and then make it so that you have to choose between some more impactful talents. And that's a fair argument to some extent, because it is true that back in the day, if you were playing a marksmanship hunter, you would most likely at some point end up on a forum or some page that had theory crafted what the best damage would be or so. But the thing is, this talent tree here, or this, it gave you so much freedom to choose between what you felt like trying out at that time. It made it feel much more, you had like a million small choices that made your character feel more unique to you than the other way. And you can argue today that it's pretty much the same, like people still have the same cookie cutter build setups, even when there is other more impactful talents you have to choose between. For me, for instance, I change between 2 talents when I raid on my monk Mistweaver. I change between my essence font talent and I change between my raid heal or single target heal. That's the only thing. The only thing that works, in my opinion, with the new talent tree is the PvP talent tree system that they introduced in Battle for Azeroth. I like that because I am often changing between my PvP talents if I'm in an arena, depending on what I'm going up against. I think that works great. But back then here, the idea of for every single level you gained, you could spend 1 point on something that would improve your character. That made it exciting. It made it exciting to know that once you had spent at least 10 points in total in the tree, that didn't matter have to be in in which one here. As long as you spend 10 points, you could move down towards this bracket here and get maybe just get 1 point in this if you felt like that, and get 2 in this. Or even if you felt like it, go into marksmanship. You don't have to remain as a beastmaster, right? You could choose 5 points here, 2 points here, and then if I want now, when I level up next time, I can start to go into marksmanship, which is kind of what I want to do. So it gives that sense of achievement, and that chase. It was just, in my opinion, it's a million times better. And if we are to follow the argument that Blizzard made, that it just ended up with people following the same cookie cutter templates, well, you could just argue then, hey, Blizzard, why don't you just make the talents even more impactful than they were? Take the same system here, but make them more impactful. Make it so that people have to choose a little bit more between them. And back then, they actually cost a decent amount of gold to swap between the specs, so it felt like you, it felt impactful. One thing though, and this a lot of people will disagree with me on this, but I think, for me personally, I would still like, let's say I'm playing a priest, I would still like to be able to choose between, or having 2 spec templates. I wouldn't mind if I then had to change it to pay a lot to change them, but I would still like to have 2 specs I can choose between, so I don't feel punished for being a holy priest, for instance, if I want to do solo content. But I know a lot of people disagree with that. Another thing that was, yeah, there probably will be add-ons if they allow that, yeah. Another thing that I personally found to be pretty damn awesome, which I know a lot of people hated, but my argument is that it's because they were lazy. But it was that back in Vanilla, when you were leveling, you would easily be able to run out of quests in a zone. And then you just really wouldn't know what else to do, like how do you progress your experience then? And then you could either, the basic thing you could do was just to start grinding monsters. Let's say I would need to get a half level more in order to be able to get the next quest hub over here, because they require a certain level for me to unlock the quests. So I could grind that half level. And of course they can sound a little boring, but in some way it makes you appreciate and look forward to that next step. But another thing was also, if you were one of those people who were good at leveling, quote unquote, then you would know, you would have the knowledge to know that when you ran out of quests here in Westfall at around level 17, then in not Burning Steps, you don't want to go there. Then in where the fuck is it now? Where is it? I'm looking for Red Ridge. There it is. Then you would go to Red Ridge, because the quests down here, they would unlock around that level. So it would make you go from Westfall, and then you would start this amazing epic travel where you go through Duskwood, where the monsters would still be too high level. They would be around like 18, 19 here, and then going higher and higher as you moved into further into it. But you would follow the path via Duskwood all the way up to Red Ridge. Is this? Yeah, I think I clicked the right one. And then suddenly there were quests again you could do. So the point is that because the quests were spaced out different places in the world, it would make you experience the world. You would go through the landscape, and because you did that, because you didn't have like flying mounts or anything like that, or you had to get to level 40 before you got your first ground mount, and it wasn't really that fast. It was 60% increased movement speed. It would make you feel like the world was so damn huge, because you would spend maybe, I don't know, if I were to go from Duskwood over there now, I'd probably at least spend 5 minutes on that. And I would see so many different creatures, landscapes, potential new quests, etc. So it would entice me, it would make me hungry to go back and see that place when I was high enough level to go there. So I just had this inviting, amazing environment. It was so fucking cool, dude. So fucking cool. Of course, like some people will say, oh, it's boring, you have to walk for 5 minutes without doing anything. Yeah, but I mean, that's true. You wouldn't be, you'd just be walking. But the thing is, this game, it's not an ARPG in that sense. You don't have to kill like a million monsters for it to be fun. It's the experience of seeing the world and being enticed about what you can do stuff you can look forward to do, unlock on your character. And it was just so much better at that back then than it is today. And again, it's not to criticize it necessarily, because I've understood why it's also been necessary to develop the game in a certain direction. But yeah, dude. Oh man, it was fucking good. It was fucking good. I think that's probably one of the main things that I miss from the game. Obviously, it's important to say that we were also at a different age back then. So obviously, we may have perceived things differently. Maybe they were also just more interesting because of that. But the main thing I probably miss from back then, it is that feel today where you go exploring in the game and you see all those things. You cannot do them yet, but you know that other people are running around doing them. You know that if you just play this game here, if you try it out, you'll get to a point where you unlock this. You can get to do these amazing things that you see other people running around doing. Oh, so good. Creating groups in vanilla is like using Tinder. You evaluate the person who wants to join and they look for a group that matches what you want. There's some thought there. Creating a group in BFA is like showing up at a bar with a date already. You just pray that it's not some serial killer. That's an amazing analogy. Amazing analogy right there. And yeah, like one of the oh man, I've had so many of those situations where you would when you were out, you were running out of quests and you were like, fuck man, I need to see if I can find some quests somewhere. I have had times where, you know, I've just been running too far. So maybe let's say you are in Duskwood. We can't see it now because we haven't explored it right. But over here, if you turn right, you will be led into what's called Deadwind Pass. And anyone who knows of this game here, you know, if you are level 14 running into Deadwind's Pass, then this area certainly lives up to its name. You will have a very hard time not aggroing like level 50 to 60 creatures here who will just one-shot you and molest you with your pants down. Like, it's just, yeah. God damn. But the thing about that, obviously it sucks dying, like it's frustrating when that happens, but it's the idea again that holy fuck, there's like level 50 creatures over here, but I can get to the point where I can kill these things, and it's just so inviting. It's fucking great. Love the energy enthusiasm we have right now. No sarcasm. Some parts I definitely agree. I think yeah, I need to emphasize that when I say these things here, they're said with a certain form of nostalgia, right? So it is possible that experience would of course not be the same today. And also because we have experienced this before, right? So it's not new in that sense. But that's not to say that there's not something to be gained from looking at what it is that the game did really well, and maybe it will still just be an amazing game in that sense. So Boro, Jaina, Lint, and Ende, Midgar, thank you for your follows, guys. The birds, yeah, the birds in Deadwind, right? That's what you're experiencing right now, but on private Wrath of the Lich King server that friend introduced me. Have you ever played Wrath before, Asanis? Or are you like replaying it? Wrath of the Lich King is by far my favorite expansion ever. But I think I was thinking about this again yesterday. Yes, I'm a super nerd. Wrath of the Lich King, I think, actually ruined a bit of the mechanics that were in the game. Like like the way you farmed and made yourself what should we say, the servant of the gear. I think there was a few things in Wrath that kind of fucked that up. Also, that's where really like the dungeon spam, in my opinion, became an issue. And I guess it's because that's when the looking for group instance finder became available in one of the later patches in Wrath. But regardless of that, it was still my favorite expansion, and the thing was, it had like an authentic villain. It had authentic NPCs, and the world in itself were just created so damn well. The idea of fighting against the Lich King, who was just insanely powerful, and a character that you had seen develop right from the beginning of like Warcraft 3. He had so much depth. He was not a one-dimensional evil character that just all of a sudden appeared out of nowhere with no background or forced backgrounds. That just made it so fucking cool, because for every area you cleared in Wrath of the Lich King, from Dragonblight to Grizzly Hills to Storm Peaks. Storm Peaks was actually a little weird compared to the other stuff, but still, it made sense. It was connected, and it just made you feel like you were part of the story. It was just so fucking cool. Can you polymorph one of them, maybe? Oh shit, pet is going down now. Oh, I'm so fucked. I'm so fucked. Run! No! No! I'm gonna... I killed you, yes. I knew that if I was going to go down, I would take you with me. Imagine, like, again, of course I'm sitting here and talking to you guys, so I could probably be a lot more efficient if I was just, you know, focusing on being that, but still, just imagine that me and Volkdar here, we're even 2 players, for the last at least 30 hours, probably more, maybe 45 minutes, we completed one quest here, and we're now midways through another quest here. That's like 1.5 quest in 45 minutes. Let's say we were doing it efficient. We were trying to be efficient. It would still have taken us at least 30 hours.